The Amazon rainforest, an immense emerald expanse stretching across 9 South American nations, is the largest and most intricate tropical rainforest on the planet. Its vastness is almost unfathomable. Spanning over 5.5 million square kilometres, it forms a living, breathing shield that regulates the Earth's climate and atmosphere. The Amazon's labyrinth of rivers and tributaries, over 2,100 in total, forms the world's largest drainage basin, carrying more water than the next 7 largest river systems combined. This aquatic network is the rainforest's lifeblood, nourishing every layer from the canopy to the flooded forest floor. Each day, billions of trees act as natural air filters, absorbing carbon dioxide through microscopic pores called stomata. Through the process of transpiration, these giants release more than 20 billion tons of water vapor into the atmosphere annually, fueling cloud formation, driving global rainfall, and cooling the planet's surface. These invisible, flying rivers of vapor travel thousands of kilometers, shaping weather patterns across South America and even influencing rainfall as far away as the United States and West Africa. The Amazon's breath is a global force, connecting distant continents through the movement of water and air. Beneath the canopy, a hidden world thrives. Leafcutter ants cultivate underground fungus gardens, recycling plant material into nutrients. Orchids depend on specialized pollinators, some visited by a single species of bee. Bromeliads form miniature reservoirs, supporting entire microecosystems within their leaves. Unique adaptations abound. Birds like the iridescent cotinga flash vibrant plumage to attract mates, while river dolphins navigate labyrinthine flooded forests using echolocation. The Hotsin chick, a living fossil, climbs with clawed wings, echoing ancient avian ancestors. Electric eels generate powerful shocks, stunning prey in the murky depths. Camouflage and chemical defences are everywhere. Glass frogs vanish against translucent leaves, while sloths blend into mossy branches, moving so slowly that algae grows on their fur. Poison dart frogs advertise their toxicity with vivid colours, and stick insects become nearly invisible, mimicking the forest's twigs and leaves. On the forest floor, decomposers, beetles, millipedes, fungi, and giant earthworms break down fallen leaves, recycling nutrients back into the soil. Apex predators like jaguars and caimans maintain the delicate balance, their presence shaping the entire ecosystem from the shadows. Every organism, from the tiniest fungus to the mightiest harpy eagle, is woven into an intricate web of interdependence. Army ants form living bridges to cross gaps. Monkeys disperse seeds that regenerate the forest, and even water-filled tree holes become nurseries for aquatic insects and crabs. The Amazon is not merely a forest, it is a vast, interconnected superorganism breathing life into our planet. Its endless cycles of growth, decay and renewal safeguard the future of all who depend on its living lungs, making it one of Earth's most vital and irreplaceable wonders. The Amazon rainforest rises like a living skyscraper, its life arranged in a breathtaking vertical mosaic. Each layer is a world unto itself, shaped by sunlight, moisture, and the relentless struggle for survival. From the shadowed earth to the sunlit crowns, every stratum harbours its own microclimate, rare species, and intricate ecological relationships. At the base, the forest floor is a dim, humid realm, carpeted in a thick layer of fallen leaves and decaying wood. Here, armies of decomposers, leaf-cutter ants, earthworms, beetles and fungi work tirelessly to break down organic matter, recycling nutrients that fuel the entire ecosystem. Army ants sweep the ground in coordinated raids, overwhelming prey with sheer numbers. Termites build intricate mounds, shaping the very soil, while giant centipedes hunt among the shadows, and velvet worms glide silently, preying on unsuspecting invertebrates. Every inch of soil teems with life, unseen but essential. The understory, shrouded in perpetual twilight, is a domain of stealth and adaptation. Agoutis crack open Brazil nuts with powerful jaws, scattering seeds that may one day become towering trees. Tapirs, the forest gardeners, slip silently between saplings, dispersing seeds in their wake. Armadillos dig for insects, aerating the soil. Along the streams, spectacled caimans lie in wait, while Amazonian river turtles bask on muddy banks. Hoatzin chicks, awkward and prehistoric, clamber through low branches. Glass frogs and red-eyed tree frogs cling to leaves, their translucent skin blending with the shadows, while boa constrictors lie in ambush, sensing the faintest vibrations of passing prey. Predators and masters of disguise rule the dense understory. Jaguars and ocelots prowl through tangled vines, relying on camouflage and patience to ambush prey. Poison dart frogs flash brilliant warning colours, their toxins a defence against would-be predators. The Amazonian bushmaster, a venomous snake, lies motionless beneath fallen branches, while tamandua anteaters climb vines in search of termites. Spiny rats forage at dusk, ever wary. Insects like katydids and stick insects mimic leaves and twigs, vanishing into the green maze. Glasswing butterflies, nearly invisible, rest on leaves, while lanternflies and assassin bugs add to the diversity of this shadowed world. The main canopy forms a dense, sun-dappled ceiling, alive with movement and sound. Squirrel monkeys leap between limbs in coordinated troops, while howler monkeys announce their territory with booming calls that echo for miles. Capuchins forage for fruit, using tools to crack open hard shells. Scarlet macaws and toucans feast on ripe berries, their vibrant plumage flashing through the leaves. Sloths hang upside down, blending with the foliage, moving only when necessary. Orchid bees pollinate brilliant flowers, while bromeliads cradle miniature pools where tree frogs breed, creating tiny aquatic worlds high above the ground. Silky anteaters curl in bromeliads. Green iguanas bask on sunlit branches, and leafcutter ants form living bridges connecting the canopy's many islands. Above the canopy, the emergent layer towers into the sky, exposed to fierce sun, wind and storms. Colossal kapok and Brazil nut trees pierce the clouds, their crowns supporting life found nowhere else. Harpy eagles, the rainforest's apex aerial predators, perch on the highest branches, scanning for monkeys and sloths below. Two-toed sloths brave the elements as they climb, their fur hosting entire ecosystems of algae and insects. Blue morpho butterflies glide above the treetops, their iridescent wings flashing in the sunlight. Sunbirds feed on nectar from epiphytic orchids, while lightning occasionally splits the sky, a reminder of nature's raw power. Each layer is intricately connected. Vines and lianas bridge the canopy and understory, providing highways for monkeys and insects. Epiphytes cling to branches, drawing moisture from the air, while ants travel between strata, transporting food and nutrients. Bromeliad roots absorb rainwater, orchids anchor themselves to bark, and army ants form trails up tree trunks, linking the forest from floor to crown. Energy and life flow vertically, weaving a tapestry of interdependence that sustains the Amazon's astonishing diversity. Together, these layers form one of the most complex and beautiful ecosystems on Earth, a living masterpiece where every stratum teems with unique life, and every interaction, from the smallest ant to the mightiest eagle, shapes the fate of the Amazon. Here, the rainforest's true magic lies not just in its abundance, but in the delicate dynamic balance that connects all living things, from the shadowed earth to the sunlit sky. In the Amazon, every heartbeat is a wager, an endless contest where predator and prey are locked in a ceaseless struggle, shaped by millions of years of adaptation. Here, survival is not just a matter of strength or speed, but of wit, patience, and the ability to vanish or strike in an instant. Apex hunters like the jaguar and ocelot move with calculated stealth, their senses tuned to the faintest tremor. The margay, a rare feline acrobat, mimics the cries of prey to lure them within striking distance, while the elusive puma stalks the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to ambush a herd. Jaguars, with bone-crushing jaws, dominate both land and water, ambushing capybaras and caimans with explosive power. Ocelots, masters of the understory, leap silently onto unsuspecting birds, their attacks swift and precise. Beneath the surface, green anacondas lie in wait, their immense bodies hidden beneath lilies. Black caimans patrol the banks, ready to seize hatchling turtles, while piranhas swarm in a frenzy at the scent of blood, stripping prey to the bone in seconds. Survival often favours the subtle. Poison dart frogs flaunt their toxicity with vivid colours, warning would-be predators. Glass frogs vanish in plain sight, their organs visible through translucent skin. Katydids and stick insects become invisible, mimicking leaves and twigs, while leaf-tailed geckos blend seamlessly with bark, waiting for the cover of night to hunt. Among the blossoms, crab spiders and orchid mantises become invisible, lying in ambush for pollinators. Assassin bugs wait patiently, striking with lethal precision, while bolas spiders mimic the scent of female moths, luring males to their doom with a single swing of silk. The Amazon's shifting seasons transform the landscape. Floods create vast aquatic highways, allowing arapaima and electric eels to invade the forest, hunting among submerged roots. Knifefish glide through the labyrinth, preying on insect larvae and small fish, while predators adapt to new hunting grounds with each rising tide. In the dry season, receding waters trap prey in shrinking pools. Spectacled caimans and jabiru storks converge on the concentrated bounty, while giant waterbugs ambush tadpoles and small fish, turning puddles into battlegrounds of survival. Social hunters, like giant otters, rely on teamwork and a complex language of whistles and chirps to outmaneuver agile fish. River dolphins use bursts of sonar to herd prey into traps, exploiting every advantage in the turbid waters. Army ants sweep the forest in relentless columns, flushing insects and small vertebrates. Antbirds and other followers seize the opportunity, while leafcutter ants cultivate fungus gardens deep underground, safe from most predators. Bullet ants raid termite mounds, facing fierce resistance, and parasitic flies exploit the chaos, laying eggs on fleeing ants. High above, harpy eagles reign supreme, their talons capable of snatching monkeys and sloths from the canopy. Sloths evade detection with algae-covered fur and slow, deliberate movements, while tamanduas and silky anteaters breach termite nests with powerful claws, feeding quickly before predators arrive. The cycle of feast and famine is unending. Vultures and scavengers clean the remains, ensuring nothing is wasted. Harmless snakes mimic venomous species, their colours a warning to predators, while the forest floor is a stage for deception and survival. The Amazon's web of predators and prey is a living testament to adaptation and ingenuity. Bush dogs, rarely seen, hunt in coordinated packs, chasing elusive rodents through the undergrowth. The royal flycatcher flashes its crest to startle snakes, every encounter a test of survival. Here, only the most adaptable survive. Squirrel monkeys leap through the canopy, armadillos roll into armoured balls, and tree frogs lay eggs above water to protect their young. Even sloths, slow and deliberate, take to the water to escape predators. In the Amazon, innovation, camouflage and cooperation are the keys to enduring in the world's most unforgiving wilderness. The Amazon, often called the lungs of the earth, is under siege. Once seemingly endless, this rainforest now faces a cascade of threats that jeopardize its very existence. Deforestation, illegal logging and land conversion for agriculture have already claimed more than 20% of its original expanse. Every minute, an area equivalent to 3 football fields vanishes, lost to cattle ranching, soy plantations and gold mining. But beyond the scars left by human hands, the Amazon's fate is also shaped by the relentless forces of nature itself. As the forest fragments, ancient migration routes for wildlife are severed. The white-cheeked spider monkey, once swinging freely through the canopy, now faces a labyrinth of barren ground and isolated trees. Over 17,000 species of plants and animals are at risk, with some, like the elusive jaguar, forced to adapt to shrinking territories. The Amazon's intricate web of life is unravelling, each broken strand weakening the whole. Nature's own fury compounds the crisis. Prolonged droughts parch the land, leaving riverbeds cracked and vulnerable. Lightning ignites wildfires that rage unchecked, consuming centuries-old trees and blanketing the sky in smoke. These infernos release billions of tons of stored carbon, transforming the Amazon from a vital carbon sink into a potential carbon source. The balance of the world's climate teeters as the forest's resilience is tested. In the aftermath, silence settles over the forest floor. Fallen branches and decaying giants become the new landscape, while invasive grasses creep in, outcompeting native seedlings. The rare Amazonian frog, once a vibrant splash of colour, now fades into darkness, its call lost in the hush. Each loss is irreversible. Scientists estimate that thousands of species disappear each year, many before they are even documented. The extinction of unique plants and animals erases potential cures, innovations, and vital links in the ecosystem. Yet the Amazon's story is not only one of loss. In untouched pockets, resilience flourishes. Macaws wheel above the canopy, their calls echoing through the morning mist. Jaguars prowl the shadows, guardians of a realm where balance endures. Crystal-clear tributaries wind through thriving forest, nurturing rare fish and amphibians that have survived countless upheavals. Nature's own recovery is underway. In clearings where devastation once reigned, saplings rise, pioneers of a new generation. Wetlands, protected from intrusion, become sanctuaries for the giant river otter, whose playful dives signal hope. High above, the harpy eagle surveys a flourishing habitat, its presence a testament to the forest's enduring strength. Conservation stories unfold in silence and shadow. The return of the pink river dolphin to pristine waters signals the slow healing of aquatic corridors. Time-lapse sunrises reveal the jungle's daily renewal, as light chases mist from the canopy and life stirs anew. These moments, fragile yet profound, are victories for the wild. The Amazon's fate is not sealed. Its rivers still wind through untouched forest, and the canopy bursts with the colour of rare orchids and flowering trees. Protecting this realm is a responsibility we all share. Its survival is vital, not just for the millions of species that call it home, but for the stability of our planet and the well-being of generations yet to come. Gap 2s. Stretching over 4,000 miles, the Amazon River carves a serpentine path through the heart of South America, its waters shimmering beneath the dense emerald canopy. This immense river is not just a waterway, it is the pulsing artery of the rainforest, shaping every aspect of life within its reach. Each year, the river's level surges and recedes in a powerful rhythmic cycle. Torrents of rain from distant Andean peaks swell its banks, sending water surging into the forest. The floodwaters creep silently across the land, submerging vast expanses of forest floor and transforming the landscape in a matter of days. These seasonal floods are not disasters, but the very heartbeat of the Amazon ecosystem. The rising water breathes new life into the forest, awakening dormant seeds and triggering a cascade of growth and activity. As the river overflows its banks, it weaves through the trunks of ancient trees, creating a labyrinth of submerged roots and tangled branches. The forest becomes a vast liquid world, where land and water merge in a seamless, ever-shifting mosaic. Beneath the surface, a hidden realm awakens. Armoured catfish glide among the submerged roots, their bodies perfectly adapted to the shifting currents. Pink river dolphins, rare and elusive, navigate the flooded canopies with uncanny grace, their sonar guiding them through the underwater maze. The flooded forest, known as Varzea, becomes a sanctuary for countless species. Here, electric eels lurk in the shadows, generating powerful bursts of electricity to stun prey. Schools of tetras and piranhas dart through shafts of sunlight, while giant river otters patrol the channels, hunting with remarkable coordination. In these flooded corridors, life is both abundant and fiercely competitive. Giant river otters slice through the water in pursuit of fish, while armoured catfish cling to submerged logs, bracing against the current. Electric eels, masters of the murky depths, unleash their voltage in the hunt for unsuspecting prey. The annual inundation is a force of renewal. Seeds and fruits, buoyed by the rising water, drift far from their parent trees, carried to new ground. Nutrients, once locked in the soil, dissolve into the floodwaters, nourishing the entire ecosystem and connecting distant habitats in a web of life. Along the riverbanks, the nutrient-rich silt, left behind by receding waters, fuels an explosion of plant growth. Vines, ferns and towering trees compete for sunlight, their roots anchored in the fertile mud, drawing sustenance from the river's endless flow. Above, the dense canopy casts a cool shadow over the river, stabilizing temperatures and creating a sanctuary for aquatic life. Sunlight filters through the leaves, dappling the water with shifting patterns of gold and green. The Amazon River is more than a boundary. It is a living bridge, linking forests, wetlands, and distant floodplains. Its currents carry life from one ecosystem to another, sustaining an intricate web of relationships that has evolved over millennia. Every ripple, every current, is a thread in this vast tapestry. Even the smallest drop of water plays a role, shaping the destiny of plants and animals alike. Without the Amazon River's flood pulse, the rainforest would lose its vibrancy. The teeming world of plants and animals, from the tiniest insect to the largest predator, depends on the river's dynamic rhythms. The river's journey is a testament to connection and resilience. In the Amazon, every life form is bound to the flow of water, and the survival of one depends on the health of all. Hidden beneath the surface, in the unseen underwater worlds, the true magic of the Amazon unfolds. Complex, mysterious, and endlessly alive. Beneath the emerald canopy, the Amazon's true treasures are hidden in plain sight. Its astonishing diversity of medicinal plants, each a masterpiece of evolution and survival. Here, every leaf and stem is a living testament to adaptation. Some plants have evolved waxy coatings to shed relentless rain, while others channel water down their stems, nourishing roots in the nutrient-poor soil. The giant Victoria amazonica lily, with leaves broad enough to support a small animal, creates floating sanctuaries for frogs and insects. Its surface repels water and its edges curl upward, forming a fortress against hungry fish and shifting currents. Deep within the mist, the cinchona tree stands as a silent guardian. Its bark, rich in quinine, has shielded countless creatures from malaria. Even today, insects avoid its bitter taste, while monkeys and birds seek shelter in its branches. The rainforest is a living laboratory, where plants manufacture a dazzling array of chemical compounds. Some, like the curare vine, produce powerful toxins that deter predators, while others, such as the dragon's blood tree, ooze red sap with remarkable healing properties, sealing wounds and warding off infection for both plant and animal alike. In the dim understory, rare orchids and bromeliads thrive. Orchids, with their intricate blooms, attract specific pollinators, each flower tailored to a single species of bee or moth. Bromeliads, meanwhile, cradle pools of rainwater in their leaves, creating miniature worlds where tadpoles and insects find refuge. As dusk falls, some orchids release intoxicating fragrances, mimicking the scent of ripe fruit or decaying wood. Bats and beetles, drawn by these signals, become unwitting couriers, carrying pollen from flower to flower, ensuring the next generation of these rare plants. The Brazil nut tree, towering above the canopy, depends on a single species of orchid bee for pollination. Only these bees, with their long tongues, can reach the nectar deep within the flowers. When the tree's massive fruits fall, agoutis, nimble forest rodents, crack open the shells, scattering seeds and ensuring the forest's renewal. Every relationship here is a delicate dance of mutual benefit. Vines entwine with trees, epiphytes perch high above the ground, and animals become partners in pollination and seed dispersal. Leaf-cutter ants march in endless columns, harvesting greenery not for themselves but to cultivate underground fungus gardens. The leaves they gather feed the fungi, which in turn nourish the colony, a perfect example of nature's intricate partnerships. In the cool darkness below, the fungi flourish, entirely dependent on their ant caretakers for survival. This alliance has persisted for millions of years, shaping the very fabric of the forest floor. Vines spiral skyward, using sturdy trunks as ladders to reach the sunlight. Epiphytes, anchored to branches, draw moisture from the humid air, never touching the ground, each plant finding its own niche in the crowded forest. The Amazon's green pharmacy is a mosaic of interlocking lives. Each plant, each partnership is a vital piece of an intricate puzzle, one that has evolved over millennia. In this world, survival is not just a matter of competition, but of cooperation. Quiet alliances between plants and wildlife ensure that life flourishes in every shadow and sunbeam of the forest, sustaining the Amazon's endless cycle of renewal. Beneath the emerald canopy of the Amazon, where sunlight filters through a living mosaic of leaves, an astonishing world unfolds, one that is almost entirely invisible to the untrained eye. Here, the forest floor and every branch above teem with life, as millions of insect species orchestrate a silent symphony of survival and adaptation. The Amazon boasts the highest insect diversity on the planet, with new species still being discovered, each one a specialist, perfectly tuned to its micro-ecosystem. Some insects act as pollinators, others as decomposers, and many as both predator and prey, weaving a complex web that sustains the entire rainforest. In shafts of golden sunlight, the morpho butterfly glides effortlessly, its iridescent blue wings flashing like living jewels, confusing predators with every beat. This dazzling display is more than beauty. It's a calculated defense, a fleeting illusion that buys precious seconds for escape. On the forest floor, army ants surge forward in relentless columns, their numbers so vast they reshape the landscape as they pass. Anything in their path, be it insect, spider, or small vertebrate, is swiftly overwhelmed. Yet their passage clears the way for new growth and opportunity. High in the understory, leaf-mimic katydids remain perfectly still, their bodies sculpted to mirror the veins and blemishes of real leaves. This camouflage is so precise that even the sharpest-eyed predators pass them by, mistaking them for mere foliage. Lanternflies, usually drab and unassuming, suddenly reveal bursts of colour when threatened, an evolutionary bluff that startles attackers and buys a moment to vanish. These warning displays are a testament to the arms race between predator and prey, played out in miniature. Some insects have evolved chemical weaponry of astonishing sophistication. Assassin bugs, masters of stealth, mask themselves in the scent of their victims, allowing them to ambush unsuspecting prey with lethal precision. The infamous bullet ant, guardian of its colony, delivers a sting so excruciating it has become legend, its venom a potent deterrent to even the boldest intruders. Parasitic wasps, some no larger than a grain of sand, lay their eggs inside living caterpillars, turning them into nurseries for their young. The larvae emerge, consuming their host from within, a gruesome yet highly effective strategy for survival. Yet not all insects are hunters or warriors. Many are silent engineers. Dung beetles, often overlooked, sculpt the forest floor by rolling nutrient-rich waste into perfect spheres. As they bury these treasures, they aerate the soil and fertilize new growth, quietly shaping the future of the forest. Tiny native bees, some so small they are nearly invisible, flit from blossom to blossom, pollinating rare orchids and countless other plants. Their tireless work ensures the rainforest's endless renewal, linking the fate of plants and animals alike. Insects are the architects of the Amazon's micro-ecosystems. They break down fallen leaves, recycle nutrients, and maintain the delicate balance that allows this wilderness to flourish. Some build intricate nests from silk and mud. Others tunnel through wood, creating habitats for countless other species. From the tiniest springtail to the formidable titan beetle, these miniature masters shape the Amazon at every scale, proving that in this realm the smallest creatures wield the greatest power. Beneath the tangled vines and beside silent pools, a hidden world stirs to life as the sun's first rays filter through the mist. The realm of amphibians and reptiles, each uniquely adapted to the Amazon's relentless challenges. Cloaked in intricate scales or sheathed in glistening permeable skin, these creatures have evolved extraordinary defences and survival strategies. Camouflage is their silent shield. Some blend seamlessly with mossy bark, while others mimic the dappled sunlight on the forest floor, vanishing from sight in an instant. As the first drops of rain tap the canopy, frogs emerge from their hiding places. Their calls, each a distinct pattern of trills and croaks, ripple through the humid air, signalling territory, readiness to mate, or warning of danger. Each species has its own song, a secret code that draws mates and warns rivals. The glassy chirp of the leaf frog, the resonant boom of the smoky jungle frog, and the rapid clicks of the rocket frog create a living symphony, unique to each patch of forest. Among the most striking are the poison dart frogs. Their jewel-bright colours, electric blue, fiery orange, and vivid yellow, are more than beauty. They are a warning. These tiny amphibians, some no larger than a thumbnail, harbour potent alkaloid toxins in their skin, a chemical arsenal derived from their diet of ants and mites. Their dazzling hues are a promise and a threat, advertising danger to predators, while signalling fitness to potential mates. In the Amazon, beauty is often a mask for lethal power. High in the canopy, the elusive glass frog rests on broad leaves. Its translucent belly reveals a beating heart and delicate organs, a marvel of evolutionary transparency that helps it evade predators by blending into the shifting greens above. On the forest floor, salamanders glide silently through the damp leaf litter. Lacking lungs, they absorb oxygen directly through their skin, a delicate adaptation that demands constant moisture and makes them invisible to all but the most patient observer. In the tangled branches above, the emerald tree boa lies in wait. Its muscular body, patterned in iridescent green, is perfectly camouflaged among the leaves. This ambush predator relies on stealth and patience, remaining motionless for hours until prey wanders within striking distance. With specialized heat-sensing pits, the boa detects the faintest warmth of passing mammals and birds, striking with lightning speed in the darkness. Its jaws unhinge to swallow prey whole, a feat of flexibility unique to snakes. On the forest floor and in the flooded rivers, the mighty anaconda reigns. Nearly invisible beneath floating vegetation, this giant constrictor can exceed 6 meters in length. It waits, motionless, for capybaras or caimans to approach, then strikes with crushing force, dragging prey into the murky depths. Here, survival is a matter of timing and patience. Every movement is calculated, every pause a potential ambush. The rhythm of predator and prey is dictated by the pulse of rain and the shifting seasons. Many amphibians synchronize their life cycles with the rains. As ephemeral pools form, frogs and salamanders lay eggs in these temporary havens, racing against time before the water vanishes with the return of the dry season. Tadpoles must metamorphose with astonishing speed, transforming from gilled swimmers to air-breathing adults. Those that linger risk being stranded as their watery world evaporates beneath the relentless sun. Reptiles, too, are masters of concealment and adaptation. The leaf-tailed gecko, with skin that mimics bark and lichen, vanishes against tree trunks, while the rarely seen bushmaster snake lies coiled in silence, its venom among the most potent in the world. The spectacled caiman, a vigilant guardian, fiercely protects her nest from predators. She will not hesitate to confront even larger threats, ensuring her young have a chance to reach the water's edge. High above, iguanas bask in fleeting shafts of sunlight, Their scaly skin absorbs warmth, fueling their cold-blooded metabolism and allowing them to remain alert and agile in the treetops. Together, these amphibians and reptiles are silent sentinels, guardians of balance in the Amazon's intricate ecosystem. Their presence is felt in every shadow, every ripple, every breath of the forest. They regulate insect populations, disperse seeds, and serve as prey for jaguars, birds, and fish. Their roles are as varied as their forms, each one essential to the rainforest's survival. From the minuscule golden rocket frog to the colossal green anaconda, every species is a vital thread in the Amazon's living tapestry, a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of life in the world's greatest wilderness. Above the endless emerald canopy, a hidden world stirs to life, the realm of the Amazon's birds, where every branch and shaft of sunlight becomes a stage for survival and spectacle. With over 1,300 species, the Amazon is a living aviary, sheltering some of the rarest and most dazzling avian marvels on Earth. Each bird, from the tiniest hummingbird to the mighty harpy eagle, plays a unique role in this intricate ecosystem. As dawn breaks, the forest erupts in a chorus of calls. The haunting whoop of the howler monkey is soon joined by the metallic cry of the scarlet macaw, slicing through the mist in a flash of crimson, blue, and gold. Macaws mate for life, their bonds as vibrant as their plumage, and their powerful beaks crack open the toughest nuts, shaping the forest's future with every meal. High in the emergent trees, harpy eagles perch like silent sentinels. With talons as large as a grizzly bear's claws, they are built for power, able to snatch monkeys and sloths from the branches in a single explosive strike. These apex predators, rarely glimpsed by human eyes, scan the canopy for movement. Their wings, broad and silent, cast fleeting shadows as they soar above the treetops, ruling the skies with unrivaled precision. In the dappled light below, hummingbirds, some no larger than a thumb, hover with impossible agility. Their wings beat up to 80 times per second, allowing them to float in place as they sip nectar. Each visit pollinates flowers, ensuring the survival of countless plant species. Some hummingbirds fiercely defend their feeding territories, chasing away rivals in dazzling aerial duels. The Amazon is also a crossroads for travellers. Each year, flocks of sandpipers and swallows arrive from distant continents, following ancient migratory routes that span thousands of kilometres. These journeys demand extraordinary endurance, with birds navigating storms, predators, and exhaustion. Guided by the sun, the stars, and the Earth's magnetic field, these migrants cross oceans and mountains, their internal compasses leading them unerringly to the Amazon's sanctuary. Here they rest and refuel, feasting on insects and fruit before continuing their epic odysseys. For many, the Amazon is both a refuge and a vital pit stop, a place where life is renewed before the next leg of their journey across hemispheres. Some birds are so elusive they are seen only by the most patient observer. Their cryptic plumage blends seamlessly with the shadows, a masterclass in camouflage. The hootsin, a relic from the age of dinosaurs, clambers awkwardly among riverbank branches. Its chicks, equipped with claws on their wings, scramble away from danger, echoing a prehistoric past. Adults feed on leaves, fermenting them in a specialized stomach, a rare adaptation among birds. In the dim understory, the wattled curassow moves like a shadow, its presence betrayed only by a fleeting glimpse of its wattled face. This secretive guardian is threatened by habitat loss, its future as fragile as the forest itself. Yet the Amazon's birds are more than just beauty and song. Their behaviours shape the very fabric of the rainforest. As pollinators, seed dispersers and insect controllers, they maintain the delicate balance of life. Some birds specialise in eating insects that would otherwise devastate the forest's foliage, while others pollinate rare orchids found nowhere else on Earth. Toucans, with their oversized beaks, gorge on fruit and scatter seeds far and wide, ensuring the next generation of trees. Their raucous calls echo through the canopy, a signal of abundance and renewal. On the forest floor, army ant swarms flush insects from the leaf litter. Antbirds follow in their wake, snatching up prey in a remarkable example of interspecies cooperation, a living chain reaction that ripples through the ecosystem. Every flutter, every call, every migration weaves the Amazon's web of life tighter. Birds communicate with complex songs and calls, warning of predators, attracting mates, and marking territory in a language as old as the forest itself. The presence of birds is a living measure of the forest's health. When they thrive, so does the rainforest, each species a vital thread in the tapestry of life. Their colours, songs and epic journeys remind us that even in the densest jungle, the sky is never far away, and that the Amazon's birds are both its guardians and its greatest storytellers. Beneath the emerald canopy and the cacophony of life, an intricate world unfolds in silence. A realm of fungi and microorganisms, so minute they escape the gaze, yet so vital they orchestrate the very rhythm of the Amazon. These unseen engineers are the architects of the forest's foundation, weaving invisible threads that bind every root, leaf and living creature into a single breathing organism. The forest floor, a mosaic of decaying leaves and ancient wood, is alive with mycelium, delicate, branching filaments that form the living veins of the rainforest. These mycelial networks stretch for miles, forming a subterranean lattice that links trees and plants in a vast communal web. Through this living internet, nutrients, water, and chemical messages flow, allowing trees to share resources, warn of threats, and even nurture their young. When a giant falls, armies of decomposer fungi surge forth, their enzymes dissolving the toughest cellulose and lignin, unlocking nutrients that would otherwise remain trapped for centuries. In this relentless cycle, every fallen branch and leaf is transformed, feeding seedlings, fueling new growth, and ensuring that nothing in the Amazon is ever truly lost. Yet the story delves deeper into the dark, moist labyrinth beneath the surface, where layers of decomposing matter teem with microscopic life. Here, bacteria and other microorganisms, some so small they elude even the most powerful lenses, form alliances with fungi, driving the endless dance of decay and renewal. Certain bacteria, nestled in nodules on plant roots, capture nitrogen from the air, converting it into forms that plants can absorb, a process essential for the rainforest's explosive growth. Others specialize in breaking down complex organic matter, releasing a cascade of nutrients that ripple through the ecosystem. Together, these microscopic partners transform decay into fertile soil, setting the stage for the rainforest's perpetual rebirth. Deep within the roots, mycorrhizal fungi form intimate, ancient partnerships with plants, exchanging minerals and water for precious sugars, a trade that has shaped the Amazon for millennia. This symbiosis not only boosts growth and resilience, but also enables plants to communicate, sharing warnings and resources across vast distances. Through these alliances, the forest endures drought, disease, and the relentless challenges of life in the tropics. The mighty Brazil nut tree, for example, relies on a single species of fungus to germinate its seeds, a partnership so specialized it has persisted unchanged for millions of years. Fungi also serve as vigilant guardians, shielding plants from pathogens and toxins. Some species produce potent antibiotics, while others secrete chemicals that deter invaders. In rare displays of predation, certain fungi ensnare and consume nematodes, protecting plant roots from these microscopic grazers. The soil beneath the Amazon is a living tapestry, woven from countless species, some newly discovered, others still unknown, each playing a unique role in the forest's survival. Without these silent workers, the Amazon's lush abundance would wither, its cycles of life grinding to a halt. They are the recyclers, the connectors, the unseen sustainers, ensuring that every death feeds new life, and every secret partnership strengthens the whole. In the shadows of the forest floor, the cycle of life is written in the language of fungi and microorganisms, an endless story of transformation, resilience, and rare, wondrous discovery. Gap 1s. As the sun dips below the tangled green horizon, the Amazon transforms. The golden light fades, replaced by a velvet darkness that cloaks the forest in mystery. But the night is far from silent. Beneath the star-studded sky, a hidden world stirs, one that thrives when most eyes are closed. Gap 2s. The air grows thick with anticipation. A chorus of croaks and trills erupts as amphibians emerge from shadowy pools. Glass frogs, so translucent their beating hearts are visible, cling to slick leaves, their calls weaving through the humid air. In the undergrowth, the rare Amazonian night monkey, with eyes wide and luminous, glides quietly between branches, searching for ripe fruit and tender leaves, its movements almost ghostly against the moonlit foliage. Gap 2s. On the forest floor, armoured armadillos trundle through the leaf litter, their keen noses probing for insects and grubs. Nearby, a silky anteater curls around a branch, its golden fur blending into the dappled shadows as it licks up termites with a flick of its tongue. Gap 2s. High above, the night belongs to the masters of silent flight, the spectral owl and the mottled potu. With wings adapted for stealth, they swoop between the branches, their haunting calls echoing through the canopy. Their keen vision pierces the darkness, hunting for unsuspecting rodents and insects that dare to venture out. Gap 2s. In the shallows, electric eels pulse with bioelectric currents, illuminating the black water in search of prey. River dolphins navigate murky channels, their clicks and whistles bouncing through the night as they hunt fish unseen by day. Gap 2s. Strikingly, some of the forest's most dazzling displays are only visible after dusk. Bioluminescent fungi glow in eerie greens and blues, painting the decaying wood with an unearthly light. Fireflies drift in shimmering clouds, signalling to mates in a silent ballet of lights. Certain caterpillars mimic these glows, luring insects close to their sticky traps. Gap 2s. The drama of the night unfolds in subtle interactions. A jaguar's silent prowl, muscles rippling beneath spotted fur, eyes reflecting the faintest glimmer of moonlight. A caiman's patient vigil at the riverbank, nostrils just above water, waiting for the careless splash of prey. Gap 2s. Even the plants play their part. Some release fragrances under cover of darkness, attracting nocturnal pollinators, like the sphinx moth whose long tongue unfurls to sip nectar from deep-throated blossoms. The night blooms are fleeting, closing with the first rays of dawn. Gap 2s. In these hours, the Amazon reveals a side few ever witness, a realm ruled by senses beyond sight, where the rhythms of life pulse in the shadows. Every rustle, flash of light, and whisper in the dark is a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of the forest's nocturnal denizens. Here, in the hush of midnight, the Amazon breathes anew, its secrets kept safe until morning's return. Gap 1s. As dawn breaks and the night's mysteries recede, the Amazon reveals another of its wonders, a world in constant transformation shaped by the pulse of the seasons. Here, the rhythm of life is dictated not by months or calendars, but by the endless dance between the rains and the sun. Gap 2s. The arrival of the wet season is heralded by brooding clouds and distant rumbles of thunder. Torrents of rain fall in sweeping curtains, flooding the forest floor and swelling the mighty rivers beyond their banks. The landscape becomes a vast interwoven network of waterways, an aquatic labyrinth known as the Varzea, or flooded forest. Giant trees stand with their roots submerged, their trunks mirrored in the still-rising water. Piu, Tanto Sitani twos. In these months, aquatic life flourishes. Pink river dolphins glide effortlessly through submerged forests, weaving between the branches in search of fish trapped among the roots. Schools of neon tetras and armoured catfish dart through the clear, rain-fed waters, their colours intensified by the filtered light. Seasonal fish like the tambaki feast on fallen fruit and seeds, dispersing them far and wide, ensuring the forest's renewal. Gap 2s. The floodwaters bring abundance to the land. Epiphytes, plants that cling to branches high above the ground, soak up the humidity, bursting into bloom. Orchids and bromeliads unfurl vibrant petals, attracting hummingbirds and bees that zip between the blossoms, pollinating as they go. Leafcutter ants, with their floating processions, ferry bits of vegetation across the flooded landscape, their colonies thriving in the moist conditions. Gap 2s. But as the rains subside and the sun reclaims the sky, the Amazon enters its dry season. The rivers shrink, exposing sandy banks and mudflats. Islands emerge where there was once only water, creating new habitats for sunbathing caimans and nesting turtles. Parrots and macaws gather at exposed clay licks, their vivid feathers flashing in the sunlight as they seek minerals vital for survival. Gap 2s. On the forest floor, the drying leaf litter crackles underfoot. Many plants, adapted to the cycle of flood and drought, shed their leaves to conserve water, while others send roots deeper in search of hidden moisture. The canopy becomes a patchwork of greens and golds, dotted with the pale blooms of trees that flower only in the dry months. Gap 2s. Fauna adapt to these shifting conditions with remarkable ingenuity. Poison dart frogs, whose tadpoles developed in rain-filled pools, now seek refuge in the damp crevices of fallen logs. Capybaras, the world's largest rodents, gather in herds around shrinking waterholes, their watchful eyes scanning for jaguars and anacondas drawn by the seasonal congregation. Gapchaka 2s. Even the air changes. Thick and heavy with humidity during the rains, crisp and scented with earth and blossoms as the forest dries. The Amazon cycles are a testament to resilience and renewal, each season sculpting the landscape and its inhabitants in subtle, spectacular ways. Gap 2s. In this eternal cycle there are no true endings, only transformation. The Amazon endures, adapting with each turn of the seasons, forever thriving in the delicate balance between water and sun. Das Gap. ones. Below the shimmering surface of the Amazon's rivers and flooded forests lies an unseen universe, an intricate realm where life unfolds in silence and shadow. Here, sunlight filters through tannin-stained water, painting everything in hues of gold and emerald. The aquatic world is a tapestry of submerged roots, drifting leaves, and ancient logs that shelter countless secrets. Gap 2s. In these hidden depths, rare and remarkable creatures thrive. The electric eel glides silently, its slender body winding through the murky shallows. With a flicker of invisible power, it navigates and hunts, its electric pulses mapping the darkness and stunning unsuspecting prey. Nearby, armoured arapaimas, giants of the river, rise to the surface with a gentle gasp, their scales glinting like polished metal as they breathe air before vanishing back into the gloom. Gap 2s. The riverbed itself teems with life. Delicate, freshwater stingrays, their bodies patterned like ancient mosaics, blend seamlessly with sand and silt. They ripple across the bottom, stirring up clouds of debris in search of tiny crustaceans and hidden insects. Camouflage knifefish slip between submerged branches, their elongated fins undulating like ribbons in the current. Gap 2s. Some species remain shrouded in mystery. The glass knifefish, nearly transparent, flickers through shadows, its body almost invisible save for the faint glimmer of its lateral line. In deeper channels, the enigmatic candiru, a tiny parasitic catfish, navigates by scent alone, a reminder of the Amazon's many unsolved riddles. Gap 2s. Plant life is no less extraordinary. Underwater meadows of kabomba and eelgrass sway in the gentle flow, providing shelter for juvenile fish and spawning grounds for amphibians. Floating mats of water hyacinth drift above, their roots forming tangled labyrinths where piranhas and tetras dart in and out of the shifting light. Gap 2s. Each aquatic world is shaped by subtle forces: water chemistry, flow, and the seasonal rise and fall of the rivers. Micro-habitats emerge within sunken tree hollows and beneath overhanging banks, supporting rare species found nowhere else on Earth. Even in the stillness, the ecosystem pulses with invisible currents, cycling nutrients and sustaining life above and below. Gap 2s. The Amazon's hidden aquatic worlds are a realm of both beauty and enigma, a submerged wilderness where the unknown outnumbers the known, and every shadow holds the promise of discovery. In these secret depths, the story of the Amazon continues, written in ripples and reflected light. Gap 1s. In the heart of the Amazon, survival is rarely a solo endeavour. Here the forest thrives on connections, intricate relationships woven between plants, animals, fungi and microorganisms. Each partnership shapes the ecosystem, turning competition into collaboration and chance encounters into lifelines. Gap 2s. High in the canopy, the Brazil nut tree stands as a towering testament to interdependence. Its massive fruits, encased in armoured shells, hold seeds that only the agouti, a small sharp-toothed rodent, can free. The agouti buries these seeds for later, but many are forgotten, sprouting into the next generation of giants. Without the agouti, the Brazil nut tree would vanish, and with it a cascade of lives dependent on its shelter and food. Gap 2s. Beneath the leaf litter, a silent agreement unfolds between leafcutter ants and their fungal partners. The ants harvest fresh foliage, carrying it in endless streams back to their underground nests. But they do not eat the leaves. Instead, they feed them to a cultivated fungus, which breaks down the tough plant fibres into nourishing food. In return, the fungus depends entirely on the ants for survival, while the colony's young feast on its swollen tips. Gap 2s. Epiphytic orchids and bromeliads perch on tree branches, their roots never touching the soil. They trap rainwater in leaf-cupped reservoirs, creating miniature ponds high above the ground. Here, tadpoles, mosquito larvae, and even tiny tree frogs find refuge, each species benefiting from the shelter and moisture, while the plants gain nutrients from their guests' waste. Gap 2s. Deep within the shadows, fungi and trees communicate in whispers of chemistry. Mycorrhizal fungi entwine themselves with tree roots, extending their reach into the soil. They ferry water and minerals to their hosts, receiving sugars in return. This underground network links entire groves, allowing trees to share resources and warnings, an invisible web that holds the forest together. Gap 2s. Even the river's murky shallows teem with partnerships. Cleaner fish, like the tiny Corridora's catfish, graze algae and parasites from the scales of larger fish, while gaining a steady meal and protection in return. Microorganisms break down decaying matter, recycling nutrients that feed plants and fuel the endless cycle of life. Gap 2s. The Amazon's symbiotic relationships are the threads from which the very fabric of the rainforest is spun. In every corner, above and below, these alliances shape resilience, foster diversity, and ensure that the story of the Amazon is not one of individuals, but of a living, breathing community, each life dependent on countless others, bound together in the world's greatest web of life. Gap 1s. Beneath the emerald canopy, the Amazon pulses to ancient rhythms, a living metronome set by the rise and fall of water, the flush of flowers, and the silent march of millions. These cycles, as old as the forest itself, shape every heartbeat of life within. Gap 2s. Each year, the mighty Amazon River swells with distant rains, flooding vast stretches of forest. Trees stand half-submerged, their trunks mirrored in still, chocolate-brown waters. Fish swim among the roots, hunting for fallen fruit, while pink river dolphins glide through the tangled underworld. For months, land and water become one, a season of abundance, where nutrients are carried far and wide on the currents. Gap 2s. As the waters recede, the forest floor emerges, cloaked in a fresh layer of silt. Seeds, once carried by the flood, burst open in the sunlight. The air fills with the scent of blossoms, mass flowerings synchronized across miles, painting the canopy in sudden colour. Nectar flows, drawing clouds of hummingbirds and swarms of butterflies, each species perfectly timed to the brief window of plenty. Gap 2s. The cycles of blooming and fruiting ripple through the animal world. Troops of howler monkeys trace the fruiting trees, their calls echoing at dawn as they compete for the ripest bounty. Toucans, parrots and bats join the feast, scattering seeds in their wake and ensuring the next generation of forest giants. Gap 2s. Migration weaves another thread through this living tapestry. As the floodwaters rise and fall, shoals of fish travel upstream to spawn, their journey essential for both river and rainforest. In the canopy, flocks of birds sweep across continents, seeking the Amazon's seasonal riches, while butterflies drift on invisible highways, following the scent of blooming flowers. Gap 2s. Even the unseen world moves in rhythm. Fungi surge after the rains, breaking down fallen wood and leaf litter, returning nutrients to the soil. Insects emerge in synchronized bursts, their brief lives fueling the appetites of frogs, birds and bats. Gap 2s. These cycles of water, of life, of renewal, are the silent architects of the Amazon, They dictate when to bloom and when to migrate, when to feast and when to hide. In every moment, the forest breathes in time with the world around it, its survival written in the language of rhythm and change. Gap 2s. The Amazon endures not as a static paradise, but as a symphony of cycles, each note vital, each transition a promise that life here will always find a way.